Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Monday afternoon. Just on the way home from work. Just thought I would stop and do a video. Have a couple of things to go over with you. We have default fears going on right now, and people afraid of what will happen if the U.S. government does default. We also have a story that I noticed earlier today, actually, that was talking about how 50 senators are being offered satellite phones as well as an upgrade for security devices. So that's interesting. I'll go into that a little more as well. And basically, I think we need to just keep preparing and just keep stacking like never before. Don't get complacent. It's easy to get complacent and just, well, everything's going to be fine. Just, I think it's just the best to just continue the way you're doing. Look at your preps, look at your holes, fill them. Things that expire, you're not comfortable keeping, get rid of it, give it away, whatever. Refill it with good stuff, new stuff, things that you will eat. I'll go into that a little more here in a little bit as well. Stack like you never have before, because there are things happening that we could wake up, and I believe we will wake up one morning and our world will be changed. It really will. It's changing already. It's changed a lot in the last few years, of course, but I think we're going to wake up one morning and it's going to hit us by surprise. We're going to be like, well, here it goes, and I didn't think it happened this fast. I thought I had more time. I thought I had more warning, First, real quick, an older man, this is not in our town, but a town next over to us. So we go shopping there a good bit. We do some grocery shopping. We do some other shopping there. We eat out because they got more choices to eat out there. If we go and eat, if we choose to do that. But once every other week, we typically go there and hit their Walmart, But there's an older man that sometimes he had a cane, very friendly. He was always around town and he would be waving at cars that go by, smiling. He was always smiling and waving. If people were walking, they would stop by and he would talk with them. Harmless guy, always just looked happy. And the news came out, it was a few days ago, that somebody shot and killed this guy for no apparent reason. I mean, this guy was completely harmless. And thankfully, I saw an update this morning. It looks like they have arrested somebody. But what kind of evil meanness does it take to do that to some guy that's not doing anything to you? I mean, this guy's just doing it, minding his own business. I mean, he's waving at people and smiling. I mean, it's obvious the guy's harmless, right? I don't know anything about him other than that, but there was a big reaction in the county and to this guy that's happening to this guy, because everybody kind of knew, if you were around that town, you didn't even have to live there to know this guy's a fixture there, And, it's just evil it's just increasing. And I know I say that, often, but it's just the meanness. It's not like it's not even a motive. It's just like no motive. When you hear about these things now, it's like, well, we don't have a motive. What does that mean? I mean, there's usually always some motive, right? The motive is evil right now. It's just dang evil. I could say much stronger words. I will hold back. But it just pisses me off. There's no need. It's senseless. And I think it's going to increase big time. We need to be prepared. We really do be on guard all the time, even in the safe towns. Dog, I'm in a safe town. Everybody's polite. No, they're not. They're not all polite. There's evil there too. Anyway, I'm going on too much about that probably, but default would be catastrophic. A lot of people are like, and I've got friends texting me like, Dawg, if it defaults, what's going to happen? Am I going to get my disability payments? Am I going to get Social Security? Am I going to get my pension? I really don't know for sure. There could be a delay on that if it happens, if it is allowed to happen. I have a feeling that they're going to raise the debt ceiling like they usually do. They'll probably wait till the 12th hour, the last minute, so to speak. I believe they will. That's just me. Now, I've heard from other people, in the comments and such, they'll say, they're going to let it default this time. I don't know. I mean, they could just do it temporarily. Even a temporary one would be damaging, though. I was reading up on this, but Biden and McCarthy are supposedly meeting today or this evening. Maybe they are right now. Who knows? The X date, so to speak, is as early as June 1st. That's coming up pretty quick. But that's when the government runs out of cash to pay its bills, basically. The debt is almost up to $32 trillion, y'all. $32 trillion. There's just no need in that. There's no excuse in that. No excuse. Total irresponsibility is putting it mildly, is putting it nicely. Just outright deep corruption is the way it really is, I think, and worse, really. But if it's allowed to happen, even temporarily, we could have a crash. The markets would crash. You could have a deeper recession. I think we're already in a recession, but you could have a depression pretty quickly. Even 1 week in, they're saying that this could wipe out 1.5 million jobs, y'all, within 1 week. If it were to allow to continue into the summer, you're looking at 8 million jobs lost. They just vanish. You're talking about depression times, big time right there. Unemployment, of course, would soar. It would be catastrophic to a lot of people. Maybe not the rich, the 1%, but to the folks, it would be. Like I said, stock market would plunge, erase $10 trillion in household wealth. Y'all, whew. It would be an economic collapse. And even a temporary one, like I said, it sounds like it would do a lot of damage. You'd see a housing crash. Interest rates, I mean, who knows what would happen there. So government assistance, those on that, who knows? I mean, that would be at the very least delayed. So you'd have an increase in unrest, and crime would spike. You think you see crime now, and it's terrible now. I think it would just exponentially go up. It wouldn't take long either. If they'd quit, I say this, printing money, spending money, and sending it dang overseas constantly into that craziness over there, Stack like you've never stacked. Stack the water filtration, stack food, non-perishables, cans, whatever that looks like for you, food preservation, your basics. Sugar, honey, beans, rice, pasta. Things that you like to eat too. If it's something you don't want to eat, don't store it. Other things too, charcoal, propane. We're going to make a run here in the next few days. We may have to wait till this weekend, but we're going to make a run and really fill in some preps ourselves, Oil lamps, your batteries, just your basic stuff, okay? Hygiene products. I always say first aid too, kind of wrong with that, but even just the basics, you don't have to spend a lot of money on, if you can help it, grab extra every time you go to the store. But we've really got to keep our eye on this and not fall asleep and not put our heads in the sand at this time, defensive measures, self-defense. You got to look at that too. 50 senators were issued satellite phones and offered demonstrations on upgraded security devices. They're saying this is for emergency communications, their new security measures, and They're saying this is to secure a means of communication during a disruptive event. This would allow them to coordinate government services in case of a man-made or natural disaster. I think it's interesting. I mean, I would have thought they already had them, but maybe they don't. Maybe some do. They're offering them to all of them or more of them. I don't know. But it's interesting, what are they preparing for? What else do they have down in those basements? There's no telling what they have. They're preparing, so why shouldn't we? We should be preparing more than they're preparing. Because they're going to be taken care of. What else do they have down in there? Share your thoughts on that. And what do they know that we don't? There's no telling what they know. If we knew what they know, we might be scared, but we'd probably be more pissed off than scared, I think. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Speaking of being scared, this leads me into the verse. I have a really good passage here, y'all. It is from John 14:27. The words of Jesus. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you, not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid. Do not be afraid, not as the world gives to you. Big difference there. The peace that the world gives you is artificial at times. It's temporary, and it looks good. It's not the real thing, is it? The peace that God gives you and the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, is everlasting. It doesn't depend on our situations either. And do not be afraid. Be prepared, not scared. Some of y'all have said that in the comments as well, and it's a good one. Share your thoughts. Let's keep on keeping on, y'all. Seriously. Take care. God bless you. See you soon.